Taco, what a great way to start. High Destruction, how are you? Dude, guys, should we make a bingo board? I can actually see the pixels here. One, two, three. Dang it. This isn't right. This is too many squares. Actually, we can just do this, and then we can just zoom in. That's fine. Could just do this and then zoom in, right? Dang it. Hi, Breacher. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Hylian. Does Rax enjoy playing his favorite video game? Isn't that an oxymoron? Wouldn't anybody enjoy playing a game if it's their favorite by default? Okay, now the $1,000,000 question. Now we have to make it pretty. Okay. Guys, we're making the Mona Lisa right now. Trust. All we have to do is hit the yellow lines here. Trust me, I'm a professional idiot. Very good, very good. Do I think the expansion is worth $40? That's gonna depend from player to player, my friend. But in general, $40 in this economy doesn't really get you very far. So probably, I mean, probably. You guys are never gonna believe how beautiful this is about to look. Wow. Okay. Watch this. Wow. Wow. Incredible. Wow. Wow. All right. Now, now we got to think of some things that they might say, guys. Give me some ideas, guys. Powers. Endgame. Warlock. The cow level. We heard you. Leaderboards. Challenging slash. Okay. Hydred Scythe. Loot filter, that's a good one. Roadmap. Do you think roadmap has a chance to be... Do you think that that has a chance to be in here? Oh yeah, fishing. The Herodic Cube, right. Depth. Hi Daisy. You think they'll say depth? Should we put that one on there? Diablo 5. What's my upbeat scale? 1 to 5 on this or PoE 2? Decent on this one, very high for PoE 2. Set items. We can put depth in there. Yes. Map overlay. Really? Yeah, skill. We have skill tree right here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mephisto. The map overlay is moot because some reviewers already showed it. Should we get rid of map overlay, guys? We have pinnacle content right here. Crafting, that's a good one. Warlock is right here. In-game marketplace. Oh, something to do with trading, you're saying? Trading? Mythics would go under uniques. Yeah, okay. Inventory or stash space. Paragon, that's good. Yeah, well, trading would be right here. Auction house, I think, would go under trading, no? We could put cosmetics. In today's economy, people would prefer the real money auction house returns. We have powers. It's in the center. I thought they said that they already got rid of the doors. That already happened, right? Tomb Lord. I want to put Tomb Lord in so bad, but I don't think it's going to be in there. BlizzCon, nice. All right. We're ready. Yeah, so the presentation starts in 1 hour, guys. What does powers mean? Ah, we must have somebody a little bit more new to Diablo 4, yes, I can explain powers. So, the Diablo 4 team, for like 5 seasons in a row, maybe more, every season was exactly the same. It was powers over and over and over and over. And the entire community was pretty much crying out right from the beginning that we were sick of powers. And Blizzard is kind of like the Titanic. They're unable to turn their ship. So even though, like, by the second season of Powers, we told them, please God, no more Powers, we still got like 3 more in a row. So the ongoing joke now is every season is just Powers. But in the very final season of the 100 Powers in a row, let it be known that Blizzard educated us that the last one wasn't Powers, it was Perks, because it was totally different. Is D4 worth jumping back into or no? I don't know. I mean, we haven't played the Hi Zyber, how you doing? We haven't played the expansion yet. We're gonna have to do an entire. We're gonna have to look at everything. Nevia, Mr. Honor Seeker. Let me thank everybody here. Lee is here. Bronco, Jonas, Kuno, Captain Honor Seeker, Cybeck. Lee's rank 1 in the channel. 86 months. Jesus. There's actually a lot of really long subs here. Kuno's been here for 63 months. Honor Seeker's been here for 61 at T3. This guy's a god. Bronco 25, Jonas 20, Cybeck 1 off of 1 year. Thank you, my dude. And Mr. Honor Seeker gifted 5 subs. This guy's a god. Thank you, man. Let's see here. Let me open a planner over here real quick. Let's see. D4 planner. Does anybody know, does Maxroll have a planner for the expansion at all yet? Because what I'm looking at here, just Warlock. Because here I don't see the expansion listed. They only have it available for Warlock. Oh, wow. In this tree, can you start? Didn't they say you can start from anywhere? Can you just take whatever you want at the beginning? Can you go straight for the ultimate if you want? Are there any locks behind it? There are level locks. Okay. So, wait, in the expansion, they even got rid of the key passive. Even the key passive is gone. Do we know what the warlocks? Let's see. Do we know what their? Here we go. Infernal Breath by default is doing 17 damage. God, I thought we had learned from this from a long time ago. Is the pound of flesh going to vanish, or does it stay in game after the season ends? Is the pound of flesh something to do with the butcher, or I don't even know what pound of flesh is. Yeah, I think the butcher stuff is going away. All right, well, so this is, you know what I was just about to say? I didn't read the skill name. I was reading the text below it. I was like, this sounds like Contagion. And it's literally named Contagion. I was like, oh, this sounds like Contagion from PoE. Contagion's one of my favorite builds ever in PoE. So, so before with a skill, you would get 2 upgrades. Now we get 3, and you would only have 3 choices. Now we have 2 times 2 times 3, right? Okay, so we get 1 additional upgrade, and these are supposed to be transformative. You can't access the 3rd choice until about level 40, which is the part that you can't access. How do we know when this stuff is available? It's Daddy Diablo. And people said that this could go up to 15 instead of 12, but this planner says 12. Which one is it? Yeah, I'm going to have to watch this content to understand exactly how these builds. Oh, the max roll isn't updated. Oh, I guess it's based on this version right here. It is 15. They haven't updated it. Okay. What are my thoughts on what's been revealed so far? Well, I think it's going to make the game better. It's not going to make the game worse. So that's good. Does anything change gameplay wise besides the skill tree? Well, gameplay wise, the only thing that's different is in the end game, you're probably going to have to do war plans because war plans give you additional loot and the meta progression tree is right for doing them. War plans are you make a plan of 5 activities in a row and do them. Yeah, Dawson, can you do me a favor? Can you stop spamming in the chat? I love that you're excited for the Warlock. That's good, but if you spam, then I can't read what people are saying. Rax, please just stop covering Diablo. It's not worth your time. Well, I grew up playing the Diablo games, man. Like I'm always Contrary to popular belief, I'm always hoping that Diablo 4 becomes super fun. Let's look at the ultimates here. Metamorphosis adds its ranks to Hellfire skills. So is there a Hellfire? So we can take a single skill to level 30. If I take Metamorphosis, take this, now I can have level 30 Tyrant's Grasp. Well, I feel like we have to do that, right? We can get a skill to level 30.
Did I miss the campfire?
So if I put, it's going to be 15. If I put 15 here and 1 here, and then I'm just going to stack life everywhere. So we take that, and now we need to find a Hellfire, any Hellfire skill. So our generator is going to be Lob the Lava. This is like rolling magma. When it says Abyss, it's going to, we can't click this one because that would take it off of Hellfire. So if I max Hellfire here with this, that's the greatest way for me to increase other skills. So then I just got to figure out which fire skill is going to be the best. This lets me summon... Dude, we could make Totem Warlock. Yo, what if we made Totem Warlock? And this is a generator, by the way. If you put it at the exact right range away from a boss, you'd get a 40% multiplier and you could get level 30 Molten Bomb. And it generates, it's a generator. So you start here, you lay down 5 turrets. Now what are we going to do? Yo, I'm going to play this. If this is a real node, yo, if this is real, This volatility volatility gives me 50% increased damage on one cast. We need a spender. This generates wrath. This costs dominance. Do profane. Can we turn? We need to search for hellfire. Can we turn it into a hellfire? Yeah, we can. This gives us vulnerable, which is a multiplier. Yeah, maybe we do anything that can be turned into hellfire would work too. I really love the idea of doing this as turrets. I don't know if the turrets suck or not. Metamorphosis also has its own generator basic skills. Yeah, that's true. I just like the idea of summoning. You can summon 5 of these turrets. Dude, we just played Kinetic Fusillade in PoE 1, and that build just murders everything, right? So, how do I generate dominance? Or is it just like a reservation thing? It generates, but it's very, very slow. Well, we need something to spend our dominance on, right? We need something to spend our wrath on, and we need something to spend our dominance on. So this, at this rank, no, every class is getting a new tree. All of them are. I'm wildly interested in this node. Metamorphosis adds its ranks to Hellfire skills. Maybe we maybe we don't spend the points here, or I don't know. So we summon 5 turrets on a boss. We summon 5 turrets, and then what do? Then we need a way to. We need to spend our wrath, and we need to spend our dominance. They have to either be naturally hellfire or convert to hellfire. So umbral chains wax enemies around the target. So we need a boss killer. We need a boss killer. So just for the Omega lols, let's see what happens. Which multiplier is the highest if we maxed all of them? This is 4 times 84. Oh, this is kind of crazy. This turns you into kind of like a walking apocalypse from I wonder if all 4 demons can hit the same monster. If I took this demon skull, well, the main idea is for it to hit one monster, so I don't love that. I don't think that matters either. Yeah, but how many skulls does it summon, though? This bricks it, so I would love to take this to apply vulnerable, but that's not something we can do. Not sure if I'm sold on this. I think the Warlock is the only one that has the new planner, but all of them will have the planner. I can't tell you how excited I am at the idea of having level 30 turrets. You just walk around laying level 30 turrets, just murdering everything. Is Diablo in the room now with us now? We got his box right there. We need a way to apply vulnerable to bosses. So how are we going to do that? Why is vulnerable so scarce in this tree? The only source of vulnerable in the Warlock tree? The only source of it is... I can't use this. This is the only option I have to make enemies vulnerable? This? You can get vulnerable on the Paragon board? Yeah, but how does that help me level up, though? Vulnerable is on items. Oh, you can roll chance to inflict vulnerable on items. Yeah, we can look at the class ability now. I think we're going to have to take this, right? If we're going to be Totem Boy. If we're going to be Totem Boy, we need to take this. So we're going to take this. We're going to be Totem Boy. The Vampiric Curse aspect. Yeah, but what I'm doing right now is I'm making a leveling build, so I'm not going to rely on any powers. I know powers is our favorite thing in Diablo, but I need this build to work as it is. So I guess a lesser demon skill. I could literally just... So I need as much vulnerable as I can get. Okay, and now I can make it a Hellfire skill. Okay, so this is absolutely what we do. Let's try this for bossing. So now... So now I need to pick something to spend Wrath on. So now I have Giga damage here. I have 5 totems. I have a Summon Boy. That's now a Hellfire skill, which is going to apply vulnerable for me and hopefully do mega damage to bosses. So now I just need something to cast with my totems. Yeah, I see we get auto vulnerable from the skill, but I also want to apply. I don't know how well this guy is going to be able to like AoE, so this will be fine for like bosses, but how am I going to apply vulnerable to like a bunch of enemies? What if I have like 5 elites on me? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it works. So I don't know if we take the huge beam to apply vulnerable easier, or if we do more damage to bosses and then take this and then somehow get a lesser demon skill to give us more vulnerable. How has Diablo changed since season 1? Well, as you can see, the skill tree is completely different. There's no passive points anymore, and now every skill has 3 branches. And what is this? Is this 12 possible choices? 2 choices, 2 choices, 3 choices. So we're going to be doing all fire damage. Subo can also cast vulnerable as well. I'm hoping my turrets will just kill everything. And then I just need something for bosses. I think this is going to be good for bosses. The D4 stream is up. Okay, let me save this. All right. All right. How's the volume there, guys? Is it good or is it too loud? It's too loud. Okay. I turned it down. How's that? I turned it down. What's up, Trixis? Kraken Doc, what's up, buddy? Thanks for everything yesterday. Okay, we got this crappy Rubik's Cube from the store. What can we do with Rubik's Cube, boys? Yeah, I'm not really saying anything. I'm just messing with this Rubik's Cube. So glad to see me. You missed me in D4. Yeah, I'm happy to be here, man. Let's see how much better they can make the game. Cube sucks, man. Blizzard stream is still too loud. All right, I'll turn it down again as we wait for the... we'll turn it back up when the audio actually turns on. Rax orders some Chipotle. Sounds like a great idea. Actually, you just reminded me of something. I actually need to reorder my vitamins. I ran out. Let me reorder those real quick. What vitamins do I take? I take a multivitamin. I take a vitamin D vitamin because my doctor told me I don't put enough D in my mouth. I take a fish oil supplement and I take a fiber supplement. I take 4 vitamins every day. Multivitamin, fiber, fish oil, vitamin D. You find that very hard to believe? Well, I mean, when the weekend comes around, anything is possible. Okay, there's the vitamin D vitamin. Okay, there is the multivitamin. Here is the fiber vitamin. And then finally, the omega-3 fish oil vitamin. Another thing I'm going to buy myself is, what's the best Rubik's Cube in the world? The GAN. Rubik's Cube. The GAN. Let's see what we get. Let me Google what's the best Rubik's Cube at the moment. Best Rubik's Cube. The GAN 16 Max. Okay. You use tons of GANs. GAN is your favorite. All right, let's try GAN 16. How expensive are they? The GAN 16 Max is $85. Should I spend $85 on a Rubik's Cube? That sounds highly regarded, as they say in World of Warcraft these days. $85 for a Rubik's Cube? This one is extremely highly rated, and it's a GAN, and it's only $25. Let's just get this one. I'm not enough of a speed cuber to notice the difference anyway. It doesn't matter. Again, Mac gifted 20 subs. Mac, are you here, dude? 20 subs? This guy's going straight to heaven. Mac, thank you, dude. This guy's a god. Sorry it took me 40 minutes to see that because I was too busy ordering vitamins. You need to know an algorithm to solve a Rubik's Cube? No, there's many, many ways to solve it. So we got it all scrambled, right? So the way that I solve it, the most difficult part is actually the very beginning. So the most difficult part is the beginning, and what we are going to do is, for lack of a better way to say it, we're just going to solve the first layer. So this will take me a moment, but hopefully not too terribly long. This Rubik's Cube sucks. This is like a generic store brand cube, which is terrible. It doesn't like turn quickly at all. So we solve the first layer, and the thing about solving the first layer is a lot of people think, well, solving the first layer is just make it all white. No, you also have to make all the sides the same color. So now we just kind of mess with it, and we're going to solve the second layer now. And I honestly don't even know how to explain how to do it. I just kind of do it. I just put the pieces where they belong, really. So this one goes here, so we just turn it until it goes in the right spot. And same for this, and that should be about it, right? Yeah, so now 2 of the layers are done. So now the bottom layer is trickier. So the first thing I want to do is get all the yellows on the bottom. And so if I mess with it a bit, now all the yellows are on the bottom, which is good. Now I got to look around and see how I can line things up. So I lined up one thing. Now I need to put all the corners in the right spot at the bottom. So I know how to do that. So let's get them in the right spot. There we are. Now the whole cube is solved except for 2 corners. So now I have to solve those corners, and it's all in multiples of 2. So I can already tell this first thing is going to take me 4, and the next thing is going to take me... Wait, it's upside down. So this is the first one's going to take... Solve a cube in the browser. You can't cheat that. Never tried. Rubik's Cube on... Well, this is just the stupid intro anyway, right? Oh, this is actually pretty sick. Yeah, let's turn this up. Never mind, guys, we can't play ads. I love how the sound we're hearing is not matching the guitar at all. I know this guy from YouTube, yeah. He makes a lot of guitar videos. Yeah, that's his name, Cole. Cole.
Hey everyone, and welcome to
volume,
the Lord
guys?
of Hatred developer update stream.
How's the volume?
We've got a jam-packed show for you today, but the first thing you saw is a limited series collaboration between Jackson Guitars and Diablo. Jackson Guitars created a guitar to celebrate the launch of the Lord of Hatred expansion, and we've got one in the studio here with us today. This thing is absolutely badass, and that song
why
you heard
didn't
performed
Blizzard
just
send me
now,
one of those?
it's called Celestia. It was written by senior composer Ted Reedy and performed by Cole Rowland. And if anyone can recognize where that video was shot, it's actually our original broadcasting room, so a fun little trivia for you. But yeah, this thing is magnificent. And that song, Celestia, is actually from our unreleased Lord of Hatred soundtrack, which you can pre-save on streaming platforms now. We have a jam-packed show for you today, but first things first, we have a Twitch Drops reminder. So you can watch for 30 minutes and get the Decaying Corona staff. And you can watch for 1 hour to get the Double Trouble Sword cosmetic on any eligible channel in the Diablo 4 category on Twitch. We've got an FAQ for you on the Dev Stream Announce blog, so you can go and check that out. And that runs until 11 a.m. tomorrow, PDT, so you got about an hour to get those Twitch drops. We did release the intro cinematic for the Lord of Hatred expansion. You know us, we're Blizzard, we love our cinematics, and this one does not disappoint. It really tees off the expansion and sets the tone for how this next chapter is going to go in Lord of Hatred. I do want to give a spoiler warning. There are some light spoilers in the cinematic, so steer clear if you want an unblemished experience, but I gotta say that cinematic is gonna give me some nightmares in the best kind of way, so go and enjoy. We've got a jam-packed stream for you today. There's everything you might want to know about the Lord of Hatred expansion that we're going to get into. So we got a pretty lengthy video ready. I hope you get comfortable, get your snacks, get a drink, and enjoy.
Welcome to the Diablo developer update. With Lord of Hatred nearly upon us, we're here today to share a slate of exciting new updates. Before we dive in, we want to take a moment to thank our community for every piece of feedback, every
The
post,
drops are here,
every
guys.
guide
I just
and
added it
critique
to my
video,
title.
and every moment you've spent with us in Sanctuary. We wouldn't be here without you. Lord of Hatred was made for this community. Now, join us as we dive into the story, classes, core progression, and the key systems. Let's jump right in. Lord of Hatred continues after the events in Nahantu. As we see with Neyrelle, no mortal was meant to carry the burden of a prime evil, and doing so leaves permanent scars. Neyrelle's journey transformed her, from her beginnings as a seeker of knowledge to bearing the Soulstone, and now to this final confrontation with Mephisto. Neyrelle grew from someone who admired the Haradrim to one who embodied their ideals. Neyrelle's tireless research has borne fruit, and she takes action with the decisive, selfless conviction that defines any true Haradrim. Now, there's a question that generations of Haradrim have been pondering throughout their history. What is the point of killing a primeval if they always come back a generation later, after the last Haradrim have grown old, and there are none ready and able to take a stand against them? That dilemma, the cycle of the eternal conflict, sits at the heart of Neyrelle's research and pushes the story into its next phase. Knowing her time was running short, Neyrelle sent warnings to the few people she trusts, including Lorath Nar. As we march towards the reckoning, one thing becomes clear. Mephisto's plan is simple and terrifying. With the body of Akarat as a puppet, Mephisto has positioned himself and his pawns to be in the right place at the right time, and with the whole world watching. This sets the stage for our journey to the Scovos Isles, and our confrontation with Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred. And it's only the beginning. With Lord of Hatred, 2 new classes join the fight, the Paladin and the Warlock. They're designed to be instantly recognizable in both fantasy and moment-to-moment gameplay. New tools, new strengths, and new ways to approach every activity across Sanctuary. Both classes have been built with today's meta in mind, bringing fresh answers to familiar challenges, new build paths to explore, and new roles to master across every system Diablo 4 has to offer.
The Talisman system is about giving you another way to express a build, giving you more room to specialize, items to hunt for, and more reasons to keep experimenting as you climb into the endgame. You'll see talismans built from a few key parts: your seal, your charms, and the combinations you create between them. The intent is simple: make the choices readable and make the results feel immediately different in combat. You'll find both seals and charms naturally as you play, across a range of rarities. Seals are the foundation. They unlock additional charm slots, roll bonus affixes, and in some cases they can even change the rules for what charms you're allowed to equip. At the top end, unique and set charms are the most powerful. These are the drops that you'll be chasing deep into the endgame. Unique charms pull signature powers from the unique items you know today, so that you can harness that effect without being locked into a specific gear slot.
He's talking very softly. I'm going to turn it up.
Set charms work a little differently. As you collect and equip more pieces from the same set, you'll unlock increasingly powerful set bonuses. Before Torment, set bonuses are more general, class agnostic, easy to understand, and meant to give you a serious boost while you're leveling.
So they're supposed to be generic
In Torment,
powers.
Sets become class-specific, harder to find, and built to deliver a bold fantasy.
In
unlocking
Torment
new
or higher.
archetypes and defining playstyles. The Herodric Cube is a legendary artifact for endgame crafting. Combine rare materials, transmute them into something greater, and unlock powerful bonuses to fine-tune your build. More than a tool, it opens new ways to upgrade gear, experiment with options, and push towards true endgame power. Herodric Cube crafting is deliberate and impactful. You can take an item, add affixes through transmutation, and then upgrade it through the rarity tiers, up to legendary. Want to turn a great drop into a best in slot? Transfiguration is the way to ultimately finish an item. Layering on a range of powerful effects with a chance you'll be able to transfigure the same piece multiple times. You'll also choose how you transfigure. Standard transfiguration is chaotic. The potential for reward is high, but there is some risk. There's even a low chance that you'll be able to transfigure the same piece multiple times. Applying an entropic tuning prism makes your crafting outcome more stable. This will reduce the reward ceiling, but it always delivers a clean upgrade. Perfect for items that are already incredible. For amulets, we have something special. The cube has an amulet-only transfiguration that can grant you a bonus legendary power, and you can re-roll it as long as you have the rare material to pay the cost. We love the variety and craziness of adding an extra legendary power onto high-end gear, legendaries, uniques, and even mythic items. So we've distilled that fantasy into a dedicated recipe you can use specifically on your amulet. Sometimes the best way forward is sacrifice. You'll now be able to break down an ancestral unique to create a unique charm. The latest skill tree updates are here to give you clearer, meaningful choices as you build, so that experimenting feels rewarding and the path from idea to fully realized build is easier to plan and more fun to iterate on. Itemization is the other half of the equation. With these system-wide updates, your item choices can meaningfully amplify a build, and they're designed to work in concert with everything else. Changes to legendary aspects, uniques, skill tree options, class mechanics, and more all support one goal, giving you the freedom to play your way. Let's look at a few examples. What is better than kicking your enemies away? How about kicking yourself to your enemies? Kick's Madness variant lets you fly around the battlefield by turning Kick into a mobility skill. Barbarians now have a variety of ancient skill variants that summon a temporary ancient to mimic your attack. Leap into combat with 3 ancients, then finish them off with a trio of ruptures. Druids can now choose their skills' shapeshift forms, and each form comes with powerful bonuses. Human form grants more resources, werewolf form grants more offensive power, while werebear form improves your survivability. Trample's variant leaves sundered rock along your path and a large burst at your target. Trample can now be used as a werewolf, and rather than charging along the ground, you quickly leap to your target. Druids can now unleash the Fury of the Wilds. This unique ring causes your shape-shifting skills to grant berserking and ferocity, bringing these powerful mechanics from the barbarian and spiritborn to the druid. You can take it a step further by synergizing Fury of the Wilds with the additional strikes upgrade for Lightning Storm, increasing the number of lightning strikes for each ferocity you have. Necromancers can now customize and upgrade their minions via the skill tree. Skeleton mages are now a core skill, costing essence to initially raise, but lasting indefinitely. Use the Singularity variant to instead focus all of your essence into a single, powerful, but short-lived mage. Skeleton warriors are passively raised from nearby corpses, and activating their ability commands them to instantly attack a targeted enemy. The Book of the Dead now also enhances your minions with the powers of Bone, Blood, or Darkness, allowing them to interact with a wider variety of legendary and unique effects, such as Aspect of the Void. With the Cthulhu's Righteous Will Talisman set bonus, your enemies will cower before you, immediately being feared for a short time when they see you. You also reflect stun and knockback effects at those foolish enough to try to control you. Paladins can unlock ultimate power with the Light's Epiphany Talisman set. Using the Arbiter of Light unleashes Heaven's Fury and Fortress and allows you to cast Zenith for a short time. Dance of Knives is now a core skill, costing energy per second to channel. If you aren't a fan of knives and want something with a bit more bang, try the Grenade Jumper variant to throw a constant stream of explosive grenades instead. Rogues also have new ways to manipulate the shadows. The Penetrating Shot variant Shadow Shot spawns shades to mimic your attack, and Shadow Clone's Sentry variant places stationary shadow clones to constantly fire upon your enemies. As the masters of fire, cold, and lightning, the sorceress weaves these elements together in their new skill variants. Charged Bolt's Burn Through variant causes the bolts to release globs of fire on impact rather than piercing through enemies. This variant excels in up-close and personal combat against many tightly packed enemies. Familiar is the only skill in the game with 4 variants. The first 3 allow you to choose which element your familiar will always be and gain unique benefits. If you want all 3 elements, the Prismatic Familiar option is for you, causing each of your spellcasts to trigger an explosion of the matching element from your familiar. Crackling Earth converts Concussive Stomp to an Eagle skill, removing the gorilla-themed crowd control effect and instead dealing lightning damage and creating storm feathers for each enemy hit. This synergizes extremely well with Aspect of Falling Feathers to absolutely shred a group of enemies. With its new variant, the Protector guards the infected forest. The Centipede Spirit assists by poisoning the area around the Protector, weakening enemies, and constantly spewing pestilent swarms. The Warlock arrives as a brand new class in Lord of Hatred. This master of the occult binds demons to their will and unleashes devastating hellfire across the battlefield. The Warlock has a dual resource system. Your basic skills, like Doom, generate Wrath. Your core skills, like Hell Fracture, spend Wrath to unleash a powerful attack. Dominance is
Sorry,
much
guys, I'm
slower to regenerate.
typing 1,000
and is
miles
used
an
for
hour.
Greater demon summoning abilities, like Infernal Breath that spews
Trying to
fire at
keep
nearby
up here.
enemies. To unleash ultimate destruction, channel the Armageddon ritual variant of Apocalypse, calling down a relentless storm of fire and brimstone on the battlefield.
War
Endgame
plans.
in Diablo 4 should feel continuous. No stopping, no waiting,
Thanks for all the
no
subs, guys.
friction between what you want to do and how you want to do it. The fight to defend Sanctuary continues in our new endgame system, War Plans. Choose your favorite activities, chain them together, and then customize the hell out of them. You start at the command table in Themis, the capital city of Skovos. You pick your activities with almost everything on the menu. As you make progress, your command table levels up, opening up a wider range of options, including higher node rarities and deeper chains, with up to 5 activities in a single war plan. War plans also grant the ability to teleport directly to the next activity in your playlist, and eventually back to Themis to claim your rewards and create a new one. And if you don't have a Nightmare Sigil or a Compass, not a problem. War plans can generate one on the fly if you don't have your own. War Plans is all about giving you more choice. Want to burn through a stack of sigils? Do it. Want to hard focus on one lair boss for your session? Go for it. War Plans does more than enhance your endgame, it connects it. Completing War Plans will also feed into activity trees. Each activity has its own tree that you can invest in to customize how it plays. You earn 7 points per activity, so this is where you'll have to make real decisions. Let's look at the Lair Boss tree, because it's a great example of how deep this can go. You can tune your rewards with nodes like Lair of Runes for more rune drops, Lair of Plenty for an extra horde chest, Golden Horde to convert low-tier items into gold, or Exotic Armory if you're looking to gear an alt. Then there's cross-pollination, pulling Lair bosses into other activities to remix your runs. Grigwar's Gambit can spawn him from Helltide chests. Embers of Anguish brings Andariel into the pit. Out of the Cold allows the Beast in Ice to join every Nightmare Dungeon boss fight. The Pit Tree gives you a completely different kind of control. You can dial up risk and reward with Choron's Haste, Heart of Stone, the Pit Butcher, or modifiers like Damned Thieves. Or you can pivot the rewards entirely, converting glyph upgrades with nodes like Choron's Soul and Choron's Flesh. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There are 100 different modifiers spread across the activities in the game. With War Plans, you get to define your own endgame. Fishing is designed as a laid-back collection activity, a chance to slow down and unwind between battles. You'll unlock it early after arriving in Skovos. A short questline will introduce you to the basics, and it'll teach you more about the wide variety of fish with different rarities and multiple modifiers to chase. Fishing is more fun with friends. You can trade any fish you find, no matter how weird, bloody, or celestial they might be, to help your fellow wanderers finish their collections. As for where you can fish, almost anywhere there are fish, and maybe even a few places that might surprise you. So take a deep breath, enjoy the calm you've earned, and appreciate a quieter moment in Sanctuary. But who knows what else lurks beneath the wine dark sea? When Lord of Hatred is released, we'll also be making major updates across both seasonal and eternal realms. Permanent updates across realms will include the major skill tree improvements we've discussed, alongside a level cap increase to 70, extending torment tiers, a loot filter, map overlay, pathfinding, plus a pit overhaul and itemization updates. For players on the seasonal realm, there will be character resets, a refresh to season rank challenges with new rewards, and updates to the tower and leaderboard beta, all falling within the season of
We level
reckoning.
to 70 now?
This season brings 2 additional season ranks, unlocking over 100 season rank challenges for those who keep climbing through Sanctuary's trials. Push past your limits, conquer fresh objectives, and claim rewards worthy of your growing legend.
With this update, we're here to make more affixes matter and make item choices contribute meaningfully to your overall power. Common, magic, and rare items contain meaningful value in endgame because they can serve as crafting bases. You can later add affixes to them, and upgrade their rarity using the Heraldric Cube. They will continue to drop in Torment difficulties, including as ancestral items, and they can also roll with greater affixes. With this update, auto-salvaging of lower rarity items in Torment has been disabled. Something we're excited about is damage multipliers on gear. Gone are the days of tossing out items with additive damage. Damage multipliers stack additively with themselves, but are multiplicative, vastly leveling up the item game and depth when it comes to the perfect item. For uniques, we're opening things up by reducing the number of always fixed affixes and rolling more from the available pool, giving you room to chase truly optimized combinations for your build. Tempered affixes went through an overhaul. Unique and mythic items can now be tempered. 200 legendary aspects have been refreshed with design updates. Gems are getting a major upgrade. Weapon gem effects are significantly stronger, and we're including new gem tiers. We've heard your feedback on stackable items, and we've increased the stacking size to 1,000 to help with inventory management.
On the quality of life side, one of the biggest additions is the loot filter. This is a power user feature the community has been asking for a long time. You can export and import filters, hide item text, hide ground effects, hide both, or recolor text to make the drops that matter instantly stand out. Hunting for the perfect 4 out of 4 base, you can call out the affixes you care about and set a minimum number required, so those upgrade-ready items pop while the noise fades away. Loot filters will also support newly introduced systems such as the Talisman. The map overlay is here, and it completely changes how combat and moment-to-moment flow feels in Diablo 4. When the overlay is up, the minimap gets out of the way to broaden your view of the game space, and you've got quick controls to tune it on the fly. Keybinds for opacity, keybinds for zoom, and options to adjust the coloration of the overlay to match your preference. For those looking to continue with a smooth flow, you can enable pathfinding, which draws your route through Sanctuary directly to your destination. You'll no longer need to stare at your minimap to make sure you're headed the right way. The level cap has increased, expanding the ceiling for long-term progression. Torment tiers are being refined as well to support a consistent feel as you progress further, and to match, the rewards track better with the risk you're taking.
We've made important improvements to layer bosses, focused on clarity, choice, and cleaner loot chasing. Every layer boss now has its own dedicated pool of unique items. Layer bosses now share a single key, and all greater layer bosses share another, reducing friction and inventory space. Bartok and Astaroth are now in the layer boss system, and the Butcher is now a greater layer boss in both Seasonal and Eternal Realms. Lord Zir is now only one click away on the world map. We've made updates to runes to reduce friction and make progression smoother. The result is a more streamlined system and an indirect buff to farming the specific runes you care about. The rune pool has been updated and we've removed underutilized runes. All remaining runes now fit cleanly into the Socketables inventory. Runes have also been heavily integrated into our Heraldric Cube crafting system.
Pit improvements are here, along with tuning and quality of life updates to make each run more exciting and more rewarding. Some of the improvements you've seen in the tower are coming to the pit, and we've also removed a few legacy systems along the way. The pit has grown, literally. Every run now spans 5 full floors, clearly marked by pit depth, so you always know how deep you've gone and how close you are to the finish. Floor generation has been rebuilt from the ground up for smoother flow, less frustrating dead ends, and a more consistent rhythm that keeps you moving forward. Nearly every environment in the game can now appear in the pit, pulling from both expansions and past seasons. And there are rare floors where you'll stumble onto brand new layout mashups found nowhere else. To keep the focus on action, we've also removed death and resurrection penalties along with boss shadow attacks. Spawning in the pit has been tuned to feel fair, deadly, and exciting. Shrines now use a flat spawn chance, giving each run a more consistent baseline, while still allowing for the occasional lucky spike. Almost every variant of every monster family can now appear, including very rare and special populations. Progress now scales with real danger, meaning tougher enemies push the bar faster. And yes, treasure goblins can now invade the pit, alone or with all their friends, with bosses, goblins, and treasure chests all capable of dropping loot. Pit mastery objectives are now fully formalized, with the tracker clearly showing both party and personal progress. Boss encounters waste no time. Bosses now ambush your party by spawning directly on top of you, and without clearing existing enemies. On top of that, the pit will now pull from the tower boss roster, injecting even more variety and unpredictability into every run. Since we introduced the tower and leaderboards, it's been incredible to listen to your feedback, watch the competition evolve, and keep learning right alongside the community. Now we're bringing a focused set of updates, more reasons to climb, clearer ways to compete, and smoother moment-to-moment play. The Artificer's Stash is a new feature coming to the tower. This provides valuable caches that contain items with guaranteed greater affixes, along with currencies and even lore books. These treasures can only be earned by climbing the tower, and first-time completion of higher tower tiers awards the Artificer's favor. The new build viewer captures a snapshot of every build that ranks on the leaderboard. When you click a top player's leaderboard entry, the viewer displays that saved snapshot, making it easier for everyone to see which builds are performing best in tower competition. New environments, monsters, and bosses are arriving to keep the tower experience fresh. In addition to starting a tower run when you exit the circle, your run will now automatically begin after a brief countdown. And hey, did you mess up the run? Did you just barely make it? Did the Orb Goblin run away? Is that the best you got? The Artificer himself will now offer some commentary. Please try your best. He is watching. Lastly, we're making tower competition timing better and fairer. Based on player feedback, leaderboards now start on Thursdays after a release or patch. This permits the time needed to address any major issues before the community-wide competitive aspect of the tower begins. That's a quick look at what's ahead with Lord of Hatred and Season of Reckoning. We'll have more details in our blogs, patch notes, and deep dives. So if something here caught your eye, you'll be able to dig in right away.
I'm going to be
See you all in
honest. I was
Sanctuary.
actually pretty impressed with that. There's several things in there that I did not know.
Whew. Okay, that was
was
a lot
actually
to
pretty
chew
good.
on. As Zovin mentioned at the end of that video, we will have our official blog launching after the stream.
That was
so
pretty
you can go
good,
and check that
actually.
out if there's extra details you want to chew on.
I'm
But
surprised
additionally, we
to
will
say
have
that.
Q&A towards the end of the stream. So if you have any questions that weren't answered
That was
in that
pretty
overview
good.
video, feel free to drop them in chat. We'll grab those and answer those close to the end of the stream. But
Yeah, I'm
who better to
surprised.
get into everything with me than a very familiar cast of crew? We've got Colin, Zovin, and Art back on the stream. Welcome, fellas.
Hey, great to be back.
Great to have you guys here. So I know we did go through, everything coming with Lord of Hatred in that overview. We do also have Season of Reckoning launching at the same time as the expansion. And I know this is going to be a little bit different of a season because it is coming out in tandem with the expansion. What can players kind of expect to see for Season of Reckoning?
Yeah, so kind of as we covered, there's a huge slew of automation updates. Skill trees have been revamped for every single class. There's just a ton there. In addition to that, season rank has actually expanded. There's more of it. It's over 100 different objectives to conquer, and eventually tower will be turning on, as we said. But yeah,
Wait.
this will be kind of a special season to keep
The
focused
tower
the
isn't
expansion.
on from day
And the
one?
idea is future seasons will return more to the regular stuff that we're used to.
Eventually, they're going to turn on the tower?
and all that good stuff, both in seasons and eternal, whatever tickles
Why?
your fancy.
And I love to for Season of Reckoning because so much of it relies on seasonal rank. There's
It
so
starts
much that
on
you get
Thursday?
to passively do just as you're playing the game, right? So it's not
Yeah,
as though you have to,
absolutely,
it silos you to a totally
Oh.
different content piece.
So we
you
have to
get
wait 2
you get to
days?
chip away on it just as you're playing through the
Okay.
expansion and everything else. So
Yeah, there's
Okay.
also a lot of goodies packed in there.
A ton. Yeah, a lot of rewards spread throughout.
yeah, gotta love some rewards. But of course, I do really want to know from you guys, with the expansion coming out soon, with so much launching, what are you all most excited for players to get their hands on for the Lord of Hatred expansion?
Yeah, I would say something that exists in the game. I would say probably the skill trees. I think, we've talked to death about it, but really it's hard to sort of understate or overstate, I should say, how transformative it is to actually play with it. Like, it's actually hard for us to play on live right now just because there's so many more builds. Art mentioned in the video that we touched like over 200 aspects. We've also added just a ridiculous amount of uniques to the game. We've ensured that like literally every skill in the game has a unique that can talk to it and interface with it. And it all works with the variants and the sort of upgrades in the skill tree. And I just can't wait to see kind of all the crazy things that the players cook up. Like, a huge goal was to like blow out the number of builds in the game. Like, if you love build crafting, or if you love making your own sort of zero to hero journey with tons of weird odds and ends in your build, like, this is the expansion for you. And I just can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, across the video and even in the blog that's going to recap a lot of what we talk about here, there's only so much we can do to kind of describe how all these changes are going to be. You really are just going to have to jump in game and experience it for yourself, because all of us play Diablo so differently. And I think I saw in chat as that came up, Skydragon said, "Inject that into my veins." So I think that kind of puts it pretty well. So pretty pumped about those changes. But yeah, that's awesome. How about you, Zavin?
Warplanes, hands down. I'm so excited. We've never really had something like this to just so deeply modify all of our endgame activities. It really is, when we say like you get to make your own endgame, we really mean it. We have 100 nodes across all the activities in the game. Some of them actually cross-pollinate, so you can put, make choices in one tree that modify another one. So there's just a bunch of variety for players to kind of chew on, sink their teeth into. I can't wait. It's such a different way to think about what you do in your moment to moment in the end game. And there hasn't been anything like it since. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think much like the skill tree, it's fun to tinker and craft all these things, and then it's even more fun to send it out into the wild to see what crazy combinations people come up with.
Yeah, then it's especially in tandem with all the skill tree stuff we're doing, right? You get to change kind of how you do the end game and also what your end game is. You get to control kind of both halves of this now.
That's rad. That's rad. How about you, Art?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what kind of builds people cook up that we've never even thought of, right? So, for me, I mean, definitely excited to have people try all the new systems. Skill tree. There's a talisman. There's the cube. We've kind of redone everything, updated everything. But really, what excites me most is just kind of players experiencing all of this together, like holistically in concert for the full, for a brand new Diablo experience, really.
Yeah, and it's something that we actually do point out in the blog that I think is really exciting too, that we touched on a little bit in the video, is like there is so much that's changed the game regardless of whether or not you own the expansion. So if you're just coming back to, play Diablo over the weekend and you just want to get it back into it for a little bit, so much of the game does feel different. And, if you're playing on Eternal, if you're not playing in the expansion, so much has changed for anyone who plays Diablo. So like you said, all players get to experience it at the same time. So it's a lot of really cool changes.
Yeah, I actually saw a comment where I was watching the Warlock video, and they're like, oh, whoever like designed and worked on the Warlock and Paladin, like the team that did that should do that to the rest of the classes. And it's like, well, you're in luck, because absolutely the same team has killed it and updated every single class. So you don't even need the Warlock or Paladin to experience sort of this new, I would say, generation of class, which is super cool.
That's unreal. That's awesome. Excellent. Okay, so I know we've got some questions that we've gathered in Twitch chat. We're actually going to kick it over to Q&A now and answer some of your questions that you've been dropping in. So first things first, we've got a question here. We've seen a lot of reactions and feedback on inventory. Can you guys speak a little bit on some of the things we've seen?
Yeah, so I think some of this has been reaction to some of the reviews and stuff that have been coming out. And for what it's worth, anyone who knows Marak, our favorite dancing Fallen, he was kind of available in those things, and so we had a lot of people loading up on stuff. Generally speaking, we've made a lot of changes to the game, which actually I'll let these guys kind of chip in and give some answers to. But starting with, we actually have, if you buy Lord of Hatred, you get a stash tab. So inventory pressure has been something we've been thinking about how to relieve, and that's one way to do it, but there's a bunch of other stuff we want to do it. So if there's something you want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say like one of the changes that we made was essentially to reduce and remove incense and elixirs, because it felt like it was one of those like really annoying uptime games that just wasn't super fun in the end game. To compensate, something we saw people use these for is the XP boost. So we've actually like massively increased the amount of XP you get from monster kills while leveling leveling up, which actually translates much more into the difficulty tiers as well, because a lot of the difficulty tier XP comes from monster kills. So we've massively increased the amount of XP for monster kills. You don't have to go and do quests now to necessarily get the max level quickly, which is awesome. Art, I know we've also done a ton of stuff on the lair bosses.
Yeah, definitely. I think across all kind of inventory tabs, lowering inventory pressure was really, really important. So you saw in the video, like everything that's stackable stacks to 1,000 now. We've removed runes, so they all fit in your inventory. We've consolidated a bunch of other things like layer boss keys. Something else that we've done with the Horadric Cube is just give an outflow for a lot of items that you may pick up that are like, once you get into the end game, oh, it's not really worth my time using blue and yellow tributes. I'm like, okay, cool, you can take those, you can combine those up into higher rarity tributes. And we've done this across a bunch of things, so it should be generally much easier to keep everything in your bags and not have it overflow into your stash.
Yeah, and to re-clarify, the infamous screenshot that we've all been looking at with like several thousand stacks, it's Marak and like, you know, PTR boost, you know, you could go do that today and take a screenshot and it looked terrible, but that's what it was.
Thanks for clarifying that, Colin. That's great. I've got a question from Galbatorix_90. My question on the devs, really excited about everything coming with Season of Reckoning and the Lord of Hatred expansion. Could you share how the team is approaching the evolution of endgame systems to create a cohesive gameplay loop that keeps players engaged across both seasonal and the expansion's long-term progression?
I think I can take a stab, and we can probably all take a stab. Yeah. We'll try and keep it short, because we could probably talk about that for like an hour.
Of course.
You know, I think like really Lord of Hatred is the ultimate, I would say, build crafting and power fantasy. It starts with the skill tree. We've updated a ton of the foundations of all the classes. We've even updated a bunch of keywords and mechanics. You'll get to experience that when you play the game, and we're very excited about that. So we've updated the foundation. We've reworked a lot of the itemization and updated it and upgraded it. So like if there's things you like about it today, we've massively improved it. And then, you know, the power fantasy side, what is a better power fantasy than being able to influence the world around you beyond just your character? And that's what War Plans represents. That's what the meta progression trees represents. So, you know, it's really about giving you a lot of control and giving you a lot of things to tinker with. Our hope is that you only see like a fraction of this every season that you play. I would be shocked if you're able to play every single class, every single build, every single War Plans permutation. So I'm rambling, but I'll toss it over to these guys.
Yeah, I'll throw out there that, you know, one of the things that helps kind of the end game feel really good is making sure there isn't a bunch of bloat. And you know, the game's in its, you know, has a couple years on it right now, just making sure that we go through and are diligent about like, hey, is that serving a purpose in the game still? Does it need to be there? How important is it really? There's things like elixirs and incense, how important are they really? They're just like a tax on your time to go make sure you have upkeep and things like that, but also down to the lair boss keys. Right? So do we actually even need that many? Does the game need that many? So anytime we can go through the game and find these places where it's like actually removing something, streamlining something helps make everything better, right? It uplifts everything else because now you don't have to waste your time thinking about these other concepts. So that helps everything be more connective, right? Because they're not having to kind of connect to a dead part of the game that doesn't really matter. Like elixirs, again, is a really good example of what was it really doing for you other than an XP boost? Okay, fine, here. Monsters just give you better XP, now you don't have to do elixirs, right?
Yeah, I like that. It's like eliminating all the chores. And I think, you know, one of the great ways that's baked into War Plans too that you've mentioned before is how, like, if you don't have a key for a particular activity that you're getting into, it just makes one for you. It's not like, oh, you don't have to go into the world to get a, you know, a lair boss key that you need. The game is just like, no, you got it. You're good. You can just
and then also, if you find a key you do like and you want to run, you can just run that instead. Yeah. So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, absolutely.
The one thing I'll add, and I'll try to keep it brief, is that like one of our goals was that we really want the game to feel like it's broadening and expanding as you progress, and we've done that with the skill tree, with itemization, with War Plans, with the cube, and really I think kind of speaking back to Colin's comment about there's so many different things and so many permutations that you like realistically won't be able to see them in one season. I think that kind of helps that feeling of the end game being fresh season over season.
Yeah, I'll add one more thing to that too, and you'll see some of the seasonal mechanics that players have really loved and enjoyed baked into War Plans. So, you know, this is something as a system we hope to sort of improve and expand over time as we do new seasons. We have this really cool system where we can inject fan favorites back into the game, you know, if we think that it's going to make a better and more fun experience. So we think it's going to give us a lot of tools and the players a lot of fun things to fuck around with. So,
yeah,
and I would add, that is true about all the systems that we've been talking about. The cube, the talisman, all these things are primed for that kind of treatment in the future.
Yeah, that's rad, because I feel like every season, whenever it wraps up, we always say like, hey, will this come back? It's like, well, we might find an interesting way to bring it back, and this is a huge way where a lot of those systems are going to be coming back in a really fun and cool way.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Nice. I've got a question from Mippy, one of our Diablo partners. Zavin, I know you kind of mentioned this. Will the tower go live with the start of the expansion, or will the beta go live at a later time?
It is just a little bit later. So we want to, we've heard, hey, if we're going to be launching the competitive aspect, let's just give a little bit of time, just a little bit, to make sure things are good and it's a fair competition and things like that.
Who said that?
The details are on the blog. You can go check it out. But it's going to be starting kind of not just in this case, but we're seeing this as the standard a few days after kind of the patch, right? Just to give ourselves some time to even things out, make sure there isn't any weird bug or anything like that, and then everyone can kind of jump in a fair way together.
Yeah, it's nice. Eliminate all the bugaboos right off the jump, and then then get right into it. Love it. Question from Farina at Diablo. How will war plans function in multiplayer? Will it evolve the war plan for the whole party or just for the party leader?
Yeah, I can take this one.
Go ahead.
So right now the war plans are per player, but what we do is if you and I are playing, or if we're playing as a party, everybody gets essentially like a chunk of the reward, baseline reward. So if Zavin and I are playing and we do a Nightmare Dungeon, Zavin has a Nightmare Dungeon node, I will get essentially a reward cache and reputation or meta progression, we should say, for the Nightmare Dungeon skill tree. So it ensures that, like, when you're playing as a party, it's still efficient, even though the boards aren't always synced.
Nice. Sweet. Question from Fame, another Diablo partner. Does the fish collection reset every season, or is it an account one and done kind of thing?
So once you've collected a fish, you've collected a fish. But beyond that, you can fish for as long as you want. You can catch duplicates of stuff. You can it's not a one and done system. Like, it's not like a quest, right, or a campaign thing where you just kind of do it once and you're done forever. You can keep catching fish, but the actual act of marking them collected, you have collected them once you've already found them.
Heck yeah, nice. Loathe Burger, another Diablo partner. Will the loot filter highlights reflect on the minimap?
So that's something that we're looking to sort of, it's not, I'll say that right now, it's not going to. We are looking to essentially gather a bunch of feedback on the loot filter. It came in hot. It's one of those things that we know players have been asking for, and we felt like, let's give this to the community. It's very much a tool driven by the community, so we want to hear what are the things that you want to improve in the loot filter. So please give us that sort of feedback. We know that's something that I personally want. I think we all want it, so that's just one of those things that we'll file away as, like, we're going to improve the system.
Oh yeah, you heard it here first.
It's one of those things, it's like we are adding a map overlay. So there's a whole new way to kind of look at the world around you now just because of that. And we really want your feedback on how this is going to be interacting with both those maps, right? Not just the mini map, but also the map overlay. So let us know how you guys like it.
Yeah, please drop us your feedback. And I mean across the whole expansion. We are going to be absolutely eagle-eyed on the forums, on socials, just checking everywhere from our partners. We're really, really eager for the feedback, and we're also excited to just get this into everyone's hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Enigma 42K. With itemization and the skill trees being overhauled, how is masterworking going to change, and how is it going to affect the way they interact with skills compared to how they work now?
We just updated masterworking in season 11, so we're not really planning on making any updates soon.
Yeah, it still has quality. You'll still be able to get that through transfiguration, but we actually like how the system's working right now. So.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Nice. All right, our last question. I am the Berm. I see the level cap now goes to 70. Does the Paragon cap rise as well?
No, we're keeping it the same. We think that that's something that we think is like a good sort of thing to chase towards the end of the season. Right now it's like super grindy from 20 to 300, which we like because it's kind of like, okay, you've gotten all the major nodes within your Paragon. Now if you just really want to sort of grind out those core stats, you're more than welcome to. I will say we've also increased the amount of XP multipliers from Torment. So, if previously 300 was like close to within reach and you're like, I think I'm good, I'm not going to play for the rest of the season. The deeper you go into Torments, that'll make that faster. So probably more people are going to end up reaching that max level. So yeah.
Nice. I feel like we've all seen the dreaded calculation on the subreddit where people go you hit 297,
yeah.
You're only halfway there, man.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that there's that now, that XP boost to kind of push you to that extra. And there will be something fun we'll talk about towards the end of the stream, specific to Paragon that players should get excited about.
Yeah.
But that wraps up our Q&A, actually. We're getting close towards the end of the stream. I do want to reiterate, like for Q&A, there is a ton of information in the blog. You will notice the 3.0 patch notes are a bit lighter than usual, but that's because to list out all the skill tree changes would have been near impossible. So we've now just made that illustrative in the blog. So thank you. So yeah, I do just really want to make a note that like, I thank you guys for being here. I know it's an incredibly busy time. I am actually really excited to say as well that we are sim shipping this blog in all languages too. So that doesn't always happen, but everyone can chew on that time, on that information all at the same time. And I know we do have a few call outs closer to the end of the stream that we're gonna get into. We had the Jackson collaboration. We have another collaboration. It's a really important one. I'm kind of blanking on it right now, but I know we're gonna kick it over to it soon. I really don't know.
I don't remember.
Sorry, I don't really have my notes up right now. But one sec, let me just kind of bump this around. Oh, we've actually got a very special video that we're gonna kick it over to from one of our friends. Enjoy.
Corn family, today is the day. We have something for you.
Is that Jonathan Davis?
We've heard from you guys for so long.
No, it's
Desiring
Brian Welch.
new music. Today's the day. We are so excited and pumped to announce to you our new song in collaboration with the iconic video game Diablo. The song, titled by Jonathan Davis himself, is called Reward the Scars. As huge fans of Diablo, man, this is just a massive honor. And, you know, Jonathan is an avid gamer, as most of you know, and his #1 game has been for years. He's the biggest fan of Diablo, so specifically for him, this is a huge, huge thing, and but all of us as well. We also have a video coming out, a killer video, intense video. I mean, you guys are gonna trip on this thing. It's coming out April 27th, 10 a.m. Pacific time and 1 p.m. Eastern.
Did this guy just park
And
up
so
to a
look
gas
out for that,
station and
as well as
hold up his phone and
April
record a
27th,
video?
Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred, releasing 4 p.m. Pacific time. You guys, we hope you love this, man. We hope you love this as much as we do. And we're so excited for you to hear it. And so we will see you there.
That's right. Thank you, Brian. You heard it here first. Lord of Hatred
That's why they
releases
handed
April
them the
27th
mug,
at 4
because
p.m.
it said
PDT,
Korn.
and Korn has put out their first single in 4 years. Reward the Scars is out today, and that video releases on Monday. We showed it off to the team. Brian wasn't lying. It's pretty badass. You're definitely going to want to check that out when it releases, but we've been so pumped to partner with Korn, so that is absolutely fantastic. And we do have our release map that we can show you now to show the entire global release for Lord of Hatred expansion. Istanbul, I hope you got your Turkish coffee ready because it's going to be an early morning for you.
Oh, it actually launches on the 27th.
But there's that release map timing. We're going to be releasing this in the blog and on socials following the stream, so you can check out when Lord of Hatred goes live for you. Additionally, today,
releases on a
pre-download
Monday?
goes live at 4 p.m. PDT on Battle.net, Xbox, and PlayStation. So you can pre-download the 3.0.0 build, so when Lord of Hatred releases, you'll get into the expansion that much faster. And that begins rolling out at 4 p.m. PDT today for pre-download. So go and check that out. I'm also very excited to announce, or not announce, we've already had this promotion live for a little bit, but we partnered with Trolley Gummies. Again, you can go to your local grocery store and get a bag of Mephisto branded Trolley Gummies, and you'll actually be able to get some weapon transmogs with your purchase, so you can go check those out. I have to say, ever since we partnered with Trolley for Vessel of Hatred, there has been a rotating trolley bag in my household. I absolutely love these things. They are sensational and delicious. And while you're at your grocery store, you can actually get a case of Diablo branded Fanta. We've got cases of Fanta Crimson Cherry with the Paladin on it, and with your purchase, you can also get an exclusive in-game reward. It is a town portal that is Fanta colored, which is pretty phenomenal. So you can go get your Trolleys, get your Fanta, and have a great time. So enjoy that. Additionally, we've got some really exciting things going on in Overwatch. Overwatch is celebrating the launch of Lord of Hatred with 5 new skins and some other goodies in game. They've got sprays, avatar, name cards, you name it. That Ramattra Mephisto skin looks phenomenal. They're gonna have Twitch drops as well to celebrate the launch of Lord of Hatred. And they're also bringing back the original Overwatch Diablo skins that are available in Overwatch. So you can get the Moira Lilith skin is coming back, the Reinhardt Imperius skin, and a whole lot more. So you can go and check that out in Overwatch. Those skins look absolutely phenomenal. And I alluded to this a little bit earlier, but with the launch of Lord of Hatred, we've got a really exciting community challenge that you can sink your teeth into. So starting with the launch of Lord of Hatred, the Hatred's Downfall Community Challenge is here. And with the help of the community, you can earn this Helm of Hatred for everyone in Diablo 4. The challenge is this. Globally, we need to earn 266,666,000 Paragon points. Now that's across Eternal, that's across Seasonal, and that's for expansion owners and expansion non-owners.
I told them to do something like this 1,000 times.
Casual dads on the weekend, I see you. You just need to get to the end game.
I can't tell you how many times I told them to do something like this.
We will be updating our global total on Tuesdays on our social channels, and we'll also have an in-game
15
message
different times
that will, check it out Monday and then update you on how the community progress is going. So let's all band together, earn those Paragon points, and earn that Helm of Hatred in game, which looks super sick. Super, super sick. We are also going to have Twitch drops that are going live for the expansion, so you can go check those out in our blog. You can get the Skull Bloody Axe cosmetic.
Thank God it's not a brown horse.
An emblem as well, and we've got this gigantic Mount Trophy cosmetic that you can earn through both Twitch drops and support a streamer. So you can check out the details in the blog for those in the Diablo 4 category. So go and check those out. Additionally, as Lord of Hatred comes out, we're all really excited to see your reactions, so be sure to tag us on socials, whether you're a streamer or a fan, between the campaign, any sort of big reveal. We've all just been working on this for so long, and we're really, really excited to see how you experience the expansion. So please tag us. We're really curious to see your reactions and how you enjoy everything in the Lord of Hatred expansion. Now, before we close out the stream, I do want to kick it back over to the devs we have here today. Colin, Zav, and Art, is there anything you want to tell the players before they jump into Lord of Hatred?
I'll say thank you to everyone who's been kind of with us on this journey. This is we are very excited to kind of close this arc, this Age of Hatred arc that we've been kind of building towards. So thank you to everyone who's been playing with us this whole time. It's been exciting. I cannot wait until everyone jumps in and sees it all. I can't wait till I can do that.
Go ahead.
I'm thank you, and I'm just ready to blast with everybody, like straight up.
Yeah, me too. I mean, honestly, it was kind of a bad idea to put Art up here. I'm surprised we didn't say anything, messed up. But yeah, no, I can't wait to party with Art. We're gonna blast the shit out of the game, and it's gonna be super fun. Can't wait to do it with all of you. Can't wait to look at all the guides. We've kept a lot of things under wraps, so I'm super curious to see, how our build creators and how everybody who engages with the game cooks up some really cool stuff. So
yeah, I think even through like all the times we've met up for these streams too, it's like the energy is palpable that we're just so pumped to get this thing out the door and into the players' hands. Like, couldn't be more excited for it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Even the last boss. Oh, it's gonna be cool.
There's so much to discover for people. I can't wait. There's going to be so much.
Yeah, it's going to be unreal. But yeah, thank you, all three of you, for being here. I know it's an incredibly busy time, but thanks for being here for the live stream. I want to give a huge thank you to the production crew, to Rich and everyone behind the scenes. It takes a lot of people to make these streams happen, so thank you to all of you. Thank you to Team 3 for all your incredible work on this expansion. It's really going to shine through. You guys are an incredible team, and it's an honor to work here and be a part of this. And thank you to everyone at home for tuning in and for playing Diablo 4. We wouldn't be here without you, and it means so much to us that you've been here. And Lord of Hatred launches April 27th at 4 p.m. PDT. Pre-download goes live.
Okay. Well. Let me pull this over here. Okay. Well, let's do our favorite thing that we always do. Let's talk about what we learned today. Yeah, did they? They didn't mention. I didn't hear them mention SSF, and I thought SSF. I thought they alluded to the fact that it was coming in the expansion. Did they say anything? They don't have it yet. Okay, I thought their original idea was to have it. They said it's not ready yet. Okay, well, at least they're working on it. That's better than nothing. All right. Let's go through everything that we just heard on the Diablo 4 expansion Campfire. I'll say straight out of the gate, there were some things in this update for the expansion that I did not know. I hadn't heard it before, or I don't know, maybe I just wasn't dialed in when they were explaining it before. And I actually think the expansion is going to be better than I originally thought after listening to this presentation. So let's just talk about it. So we have two new classes, the Paladin and the Warlock. I think this topic has been beaten to death. Paladin, Holy Boy, Warlock, Demonic Magic Summoning Boy. Should be really sick. These are going to be the two classes that I definitely play. I'll play Warlock in the beginning, and then I'll probably make a Paladin and make them as powerful as I possibly can and see what we can do. So, new mechanic talismans, where we get seals and charms. It's just going to give you more power. One thing that I heard them say in the presentation is for the set items, they're going to be generic in the early game and relatively common. So you will be able to fill up these slots as you play through the campaign. And then when you get to the end game, they're going to be class specific and very rare. So this setup, as simple as it sounds, it actually kind of reminds me of Diablo 2, right? In Diablo 2, you make your sorcerer, you have your stealth, you have your leaf, you have your spirit, you have your basic stuff. And then you go into the end game and you farm and you're praying to find Tal Rasha's set. Like, that made Diablo 2 so fun. So the way that they described it as I was listening to it, it sounded like Diablo 2 to me. So Diablo 2 is widely considered one of the greatest games ever. So I was actually very happy to hear that it sounds like they have a system kind of like that from arguably the best game they ever made. The Horadric Cube. Crafting is finally going to be properly introduced into the game. It's commonly said that crafting is really not in Diablo 4. It's really just upgrading, right? You swap one affix, you click upgrade 20 times or whatever. This is actually going to be proper crafting. Adding and remove affixes, changing tiers. You can do a focused roll or a chaotic roll and just see what happens. You can even do crazy things like adding legendary powers to endgame items. It can even work on mythic uniques. They said like there's going to be a different journey for different item rarities, like white items and blue items and yellow items. This was never a thing before. So I'll be honest with you, even if the Horadric Cube ends up being a catastrophe, it's buggy and it doesn't work right and it doesn't meaningfully contribute to the item progression, just the fact that it's here and just the fact that they're actually trying to make a crafting system, I mean, I already give you credit for that. So that's really nice. The skill tree rework, if you haven't heard from the internet or from all the other announcements, it's just a mega rework for all classes. So instead, everyone knows it's just the skill twig, right? You pick your skill and then you click the upgrade and then you get one choice out of 3. Now there's much more different combinations and they remove the passive points. Now you have to actually theorycraft a build, and it also takes the pressure away from assembling your build being tied to items. So instead of, I'm playing Blessed Hammer and, my Blessed Hammers are just going to spin in a circle until I find the 2 or 3 aspects that actually transform it. No, that's what you will be picking in your skill tree. You'll be transforming it yourself, and then the gear that you get will be more focused on power and damage multipliers. Of course, it will also have different abilities and powers with it, but giving you a lot more of the control to build your character from the beginning in the tree is certainly much better. They had quick updates for all the classes. Certainly it'll be much more than what I typed down. I just feverishly typed what I could gather as they blazed through it. But barbarians have ways to more reliably summon ancients as they fight, instead of just ancients being summoned once every minute or whatever from the ultimate. Druids can now choose their shapeshift form on all skills. I think this is going to be quite significant. Like, druids were already a class where it had some of the most theory crafting, I would say, really since the beginning of Diablo 4. And if you can choose your different shapeshift form on all skills, there might be a lot of really clever mechanics that you can do that might make them get to some outrageous pit levels or something. The Necros were getting some minion updates, and the Book of the Dead was getting some improved functionality and powers. The Rogue's Fan of Knives is now a core skill, and it can throw grenades, and they have different like shadow options for different skills. Sorcerers, they just showed different magic updates and new familiar options. The Spiritborn has new ultimate synergies that they showed. And then obviously the Paladin and the Warlock are essentially just completely brand new and as a class themselves. So, war plans. Okay, so I've said this before multiple times. I even said this in the last Epoch video when last Epoch last season did the exact same thing. In my opinion, doing 5 of an activity in a row for greater rewards, to me, is not exciting. They showed the presentation for it today. To be honest with you, it didn't look that bad. I think a lot of people will like it, even if I don't love it. It is better than what we're currently doing. I guess my main problem, it might be like a comparison, is the Thief of Joy thing. When I look at the PoE 1 endgame or the PoE 2 endgame that we're about to get announced on May 7th, or all those different things, it seems so much more powerful than do 5 things in a row. So maybe if I hadn't played those games, this would seem a lot more exciting, but there is some good quality of life that they're doing here. For example, you instantly teleport to your activity, which is kind of interesting because it's almost counterintuitive to the basis of how Diablo 4 was even made. The whole idea of Diablo 4 is the open world. Well, now you just teleport exactly to where you go. I remember when the game first came out, I was begging, like, can you guys just give us a way to teleport to the Nightmare Dungeons so I don't have to ride my 2-mile-an-hour pony through 3 zones and get stopped at the barricades and get knocked off? Like, I can't even do the activity. They said, no. The open world has to be like that. We're not doing that. And then so many people complain, just an avalanche of complaining. Then they finally, iteratively, step by step, now we're actually just chain teleporting to everything. I'm not saying that I don't like it. That's good, but it's interesting that it's completely different from the idea of an overworld, right? A world that you just traverse through. Anyway, they said if you don't have activity or keys for the activities that you're going to do, it just generates them for you. I think that's what they said verbatim. So They said they did a pass also on a lot of different things in the game that shouldn't even be needed. If they never ask us for keys for activities, why are there keys for activities to begin with, I guess? I don't know. But I guess if you run out of mats, if you run out of Kurost Undercity runs, I guess you could just make a war plan with 5 Kurost Undercities and we just go in. Or maybe war plans won't be that customizable. Maybe it'll be random. So maybe generating a key is not as powerful as it seems. I don't know. But that's what they said. The progression trees for the activities as you dive deeper into the season are going to fill out and customize your endgame plays with war plans. We've known this for a long time. It will take anything to shake up the game as much as possible. They showed a node which we've seen in both Path of Exile and Last Epoch, where it's just like adds bosses on top of bosses every time you fight a boss. Stuff like that would increase difficulty and potentially rewards. Crazy stuff like that, I think, will make the game better. Fishing. I mean, people are going to think this is dumb. I'm going to fish. I'm going to catch every single fish. So, it might be a boring stream, but I'm going to be having fun, and that's what matters, right? There's tons of different rarities. You can trade all the fish that you find with others at any rarity. So if you don't want to fish, I'll have them for you. Just come by the stream, open trade. We'll do a whole capping everybody's fishing stream or something like that. You can fish anywhere you think you can. In some places you might not expect. I think they saw a funny clip of someone fishing in lava, and they said that there may be secrets in the water. So I don't know, maybe there's like a world boss you can fish up, or there's another secret that I know about that they did not, well, know about is a strong word. There's another secret that I'm going to make a different video on, probably come out tomorrow, that we'll talk about secrets in the water. I'll leave that cliffhanger for now. The level cap is now 70. Okay. Not sure this changes things one way or another for me. That's fine. No big deal. Torment tiers are up to 12, and they said they have a better risk-reward curve. The thing that's historically been true about Diablo games, it's true in Diablo 2, it's true in Diablo 3, so yeah, it's just true everywhere, is speed is always better than difficulty. This has always been true. So when I was magic finding with the boys, with the Giga Chads, when we were doing the race in the season 1 Diablo 2, the upgraded, what's it called? Resurrected. Diablo 2 Resurrected, when we did the season 1 race, the rule always was you stack as much magic find as possible until it starts to slow down your character at all. Because the amount of increased rewards you get for higher magic find at that level are so minuscule that we're losing even 10%, losing 1 frame on the faster cast rate is already worse, right? You've already lost your number of items per hour. So when it says better risk reward curve, I wonder if they mean that, yeah, like, even if you could do Torment 4, like you can fight your way through it. If you can just obliterate Torment 3, then you just do that, right? So this will be my question going up the tiers. When we actually look at the mathematics of it and do the timings, is it actually worth it to challenge yourself? Or are you just fishing for the tier that you play where nothing challenges you? I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be surprised if it moves away from that model, but I don't know. We'll see. They added 2 ranks to the seasonal journey, and now there's 100 missions. I mean, this is, a change, I would say, kind of for the Giga Blasters, right? So I assume the 2 new ranks are higher than the previous ranks, which means that they're going to require you to do some pretty tough things. Like, I don't know, maybe you have to kill Torment 12 Uber Mephisto to get one of the things on the final rank. So anything for the blasters is a welcome sight, because most of the development is for the average Jim Bobs, So I'll take it. Gear. We already talked about all rarities can be valuable now and crafted on. For that reason, I believe they said that the salvage all got disabled in Torment. I'm not sure if I understood that right. I don't know if it should be fully disabled, but like, what if people don't want to craft? What if they just want to find the item and they don't want to craft? Like, I don't know. Maybe I heard that wrong, but it sounded like they turned this off. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Items can roll damage multipliers now, and I was very happy to see. I was looking when they did the presentation. The multipliers didn't look crazy. Like, I'm sick of hitting for trillions and quadrillions of damage. It doesn't even make any sense. At some point, the numbers don't even mean anything. The damage multipliers that I saw were not too crazy. So I was very happy to see that. And the unique and mythic items can now be tempered. Interesting. So gem effects, they said they're much stronger. They have stacking sizes up to 1,000. They said they said that there's new ranks of the gems. So gems will be more interesting. The loot filter, it literally looks like they went to Last Epochs and kind of copied it. Can't really fault them for that. I think Last Epoch has the best loot filter. I think a lot of people think that. There's only 25 rules, though. Is that enough? I mean, maybe. It might be. In Last Epoch, my current loot filter that I made has like 170 rules. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can do with 25 rules. But I'm very familiar with Last Epoch's loot filter. I built it every season, essentially from the ground up. So I should have a loot filter for you that's godly. There's a map overlay in the game. Been asking for this since the beginning. They literally said at the beginning that they don't want to add a map overlay. And the reason why they don't want a map overlay is because they wanted to focus on the overworld immersion. They don't want people checking a map or a mini map. They want you to be looking at what you're fighting. So that idea, that concept sounds great in theory. When you're in the meeting room talking about it, it sounds great. But at the same time, people have been playing ARPGs for a long time, and people like to play the way that they like to play. And a lot of people like a map overlay. Just kind of refusing to add it just really pissed a lot of people off. Surprisingly, believe it or not, I usually don't play with a map overlay. I usually just play, so I don't really care. But I think it's a much better decision to add it into the game for all the people that love it. So there's going to be tons of customization for the different opacities and the colors you want it to be and how far you want it to be zoomed in. That's great for the people that want it. There's pathfinding in the game, kind of like in mobile games where they show you the little dots of where you're running to. I use that function on the minimap constantly. Like when I'm in Helltide, I mark all the chests and I run the path that way. But pathfinding will help people, so take it. Layer and greater layer bosses. So layer bosses have one key and greater layer bosses have one key. Again, they're trying to clean up the game. That's good. I think they said that they have like some interesting drop pools for each of the different classes. And they made some updates like you can go straight to Zir instead of, all the RP before it. Runes. So they remove the bad ones. So now they all fit into the inventory. So it's kind of funny. Like the way that I interpreted that is they were in the meeting room. They're like, well, we want to add more interesting runes. And then someone said, well, then the inventory doesn't fit and we don't have the UI guy to make the inventory bigger. Oh, okay. Well, let's just take all the bad ones and remove it. And then it will fit into the inventory and we don't have to change it. I don't know. That's probably not what happened, but that's where my devious mind went to. It's like, we removed all the bad ones so it fit into the inventory. It's like, is that just your way of saying you didn't want to make the inventory one row bigger? Anyway, there's tons of the runes that are dog shit that nobody ever uses, so I'll take it. It's fine. The pit is now 5 full floors. The floor generation has a better algorithm now, which they said means less dead ends. There's rare floors with new layouts. Every monster family can spawn, even the rare ones. Treasure goblins can spawn. Progression is better tied to difficulty. Again, kind of like with the torment tiers. They say if you kill hard monsters, you're going to get more progression. Bosses can ambush you in the pit itself. This might be the best change that they made. So it was very boring and I don't know, it had like a bad pace to it, where you're doing the pit and then all of a sudden a portal spawns. You go through the portal, you're in the same generic room, you walk forward, you're in the same circular generic room. I mean, that's also what they do in Nightmare Dungeons. I actually wonder if they change this in some of the Nightmare Dungeons as well. But now they just straight up ambush you in the pit itself. I think that's way better. I think it's going to be a lot more fun. And now the bosses can pull from other pools, so you'll see new bosses. They said before that the pit is definitely going to be their playground. So the pit is where you're going to see all the crazy crap in the game. So should be fun. Leaderboards. There's now rewards for climbing the tower. Nice. And you can view anyone's build in the tower. There's a little button. You can see exactly what they're doing. There's new monsters and bosses. There's going to be a guy who talks. The way I interpret it is the artificer is going to add commentary as you play. So I'm sure he's just going to taunt you and talk shit to you. I love that. That's in the theme of Diablo as well. It's supposed to be demonic, so that's good. One thing is the tower is not releasing immediately on the launch. They're going to wait a few days to filter out bugs before releasing the competition. I mean, that's fine. It's not a battle worth fighting, but I don't know why they don't just release it and then if there's a bugged build, just do a reset on a Friday or something. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But I think the tower is coming in a few days after it launches, and most people are going to be leveling anyway, so it's whatever. I guess the only thing about this the only part about that I think is an L is one of the most exciting things about Diablo 3 was the leaderboard rush at the very beginning of the season. Who clears tower level 1 first? Who clears tower level 50 first? You know what I mean? We essentially don't get to see any of that. When it launches a few days later, it's going to be a few days later. Any blaster of the game is good. Like they said, the Paragon grind is going to be easier. So more people are going to get 300. And like all the Woodies and the Robs and myself and any blaster is going to be well over 200 Paragon, very deep in the Torment tier, probably with a full set with probably some Mythic Uniques and crafted the new legendary powers on the Mythic Uniques and tempered. We kind of lost that the entire fun part of, oh, someone just cleared tower 20. Crazy. God, I'm only on tower 2. All right, whatever. I'll just let it go. It is what it is. You get a new stash tab if you buy the expansion. You get rid of, they're getting rid of potions and incenses, and their words, massively buffed XP from monster kills. So the potions and the incenses were kind of a tedious gameplay loop. So now everyone's just going to get the massively buffed XP. I bet if we took a poll on this, if we took everybody who plays Diablo 4, I bet actually a lot of people would really like this. I don't know what. Oh my! I'm leaning on my window key. My bad. I bet a lot of people would like this, but it makes me a little worried. I hope we don't level up too fast. I would like there to be some kind of a journey there. But we'll see what massively buffed XP means. Anyway, this is something I have told the Diablo community to do. I probably mentioned this, I would say 10 different times. I probably said this 10 different times in the last several years in meetings. And I said, guys, I really don't like your events, any of them, to be honest. But you are capable of doing amazing events. Like in World of Warcraft, when you do the Christmas event, when everybody is drinking eggnog and turning into a little gnome and there's snowball fights and all that stuff, like that's fun. Like I required, when I was GM of a guild way back in TBC, when the Christmas event was out, I would not give anyone loot unless they were a holiday gnome. You had to go get the buff. And if you died in the raid, you had to hearth out, go to the Iron Forge, go outside, get your buff, get summoned back by a Warlock if you want loot. And it was just funny. We were just raiding as 25 gnomes in SSC killing Bash. Some people hated me for it, but it's my guild. It's my rules. Anyway, back to the point. The community, they finally did a community challenge, like the Gates of Ankiraj opening. I told them this 100 times, where why don't you challenge people to kill a certain number of goblins and then give everyone a reward over a certain time, or anything, 1,000 ideas. And they decided to say that if the community reaches 2,666,666 Paragon points, everyone will get a cosmetic, and this counts all characters, which makes me very upset. I had 12, I think I had 12 level 300s, and I just deleted like 8 of them. So we just lost, what is that, 2,400? We just lost 2,400 Paragon points if that's how that works. But I'm very happy that I'm very happy to even see the existence of them doing something like this. Like, I've been asking for this for a long time. There's so many ideas of things that you could, like, you should do something like this every single season, where if the community achieves this certain fun to do mechanic, or breakpoint or whatever, that we get some kind of reward. Like, let's actually try to like build a community. Anyway, I thought this presentation was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I would say, kind of mid, maybe like slightly optimistic for the expansion. I would say I'm decently optimistic now. I think these changes, some of them, I think they actually matter. I think this will, for me at least, it'll move the needle somewhat, actually. And this is surprising to me, but maybe I shouldn't be surprised. I'm not trying to make this an insult. I'm trying to make it a positive. I'm more excited for the expansion now than I was at the start of the day. And I'll take that. So I'm genuinely interested to make a fully powered Warlock and Paladin. Of course, I'll make the guides for you. I'm interested to see how difficult Torment 12 actually is. I'll finish the fishing unless it's impossible, but I'll be fishing. You're going to want to come trade with me if you need the rare fish. I'll have them. And yeah, so I don't know. That's what I think, and I'm looking forward to it. For you, it won't make you buy the expansion, but it'll make you install the game. That's kind of a win, right? McDonald's is trash. Where did that come from? What is the fish for, though? I have no idea. When he said he's excited for everybody to fight the final boss, do I think that he was talking about Mephisto or something else? I mean, I took it to mean, I think we all know we're fighting Mephisto at the end of the expansion. I assume he meant that fight, but I don't know. I guess I didn't think about it. Maybe he did mean something else. I guess I didn't think about that.
Are we thinking this pack is going to be good?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. I think this expansion is going to be better than the last one. Yeah, someone made a Diablo 4 hoodie for me. Woody linked it to me, and I was actually very upset by it. Someone made this, and so whoever made this does not know me very well. Read what this does. Like, someone fucked up royally making this. No, it's not funny, guys. This isn't funny at all. This is a huge fuck up. I fucking hate Taco Bell. I hate this. Whoever made this, I hate this. This is dog shit. Why would you do more damage if you ate Taco Bell? Taco Bell is terrible. It had to be Chipotle. It would be a masterpiece if it had been Chipotle. You figured you'd slide in here and see what's happening? Well, we did our bingo. We got a bingo. That's the first thing. Didn't hear anything about SSF or balancing BlizzCon or the cow level or trading. And they didn't say anything about a season mechanic either. But we did get a bingo up here. We actually did a really good job making the board. Yeah, the only thing they mentioned, like, they just mentioned it by name, Scovos. And this guy made a hoodie for me, and they said that I like to eat Taco Bell. Very upsetting. It's not lore accurate at all. Then we took some notes on the presentation, and I thought the presentation was better than I thought it was going to be, actually. The monster on the shirts of the devs looks like a cowfish hybrid. Yeah, I think the Oh, a diagonal bingo. Oh, we had 2 bingos. I think I just closed it. Okay, we had 2 bingos. That's even better. Okay, so we have an article here. We can look at this real quick. Let's see if there's anything. So another weird thing about this is it launches on Monday. It's not, doesn't come out on Tuesday. It comes out on Monday. Yeah, they didn't even mention Echoing Hatred because it's just a copy from. It's just a copy from D3. Is the Undercity Kurost Undercity? I mean, what else could it be, I guess? What's my verdict? I think the expansion is going to be better than I thought it was going to be at the start of the day. At the start of the day, I would say I was pretty mid on it. And now I would say I'm cautiously optimistic. I thought it was at least for their, as far as their presentations go, I thought that their presentation was just better. There was no goofing around. There was no adjusting, your headset 100 times. There was no pie in the face. There was almost no laughing. It was just an hour of information about what they're doing to try to make the game better. I thought this was much better than what we usually get. We got to see a guy stop at a gas station and give us a mobile phone soliloquy. That was great. Just looking here to see if there's anything in this blog that I missed. We have 83 skill points. See, I thought it was 71. Now it's 83. Nice. Seems pretty decent. I'm just reading through this quickly, trying to see if there's. Let me read this one more time on the loot filters. Let me read this because I know the world is going to expect me to build this. Let me read this real quick. I thought I thought in the end game, don't, like, when you reach a certain torment tier, don't all items drop at like whatever the highest item power level is, like 850? Isn't this, or is it, that's not what they do? So only, oh, right. Yes, yes. Only the greater affixes are max level, but before we only cared if it had a greater affix, so everything else was salvaged anyway. But now you might actually care about item level because of crafting. Okay. Questionable on whether I will use that item power thing or not. Maybe. Item rarity match. I mean, I don't think 25 rules is enough here. I don't think it's even close, but Codex upgrade is good. The GAs are good. Okay. The item type, of course. The problem with required affixes is, I guess I could build one for every armor slot, but that would make it build dependent. I can't make it generically godly with only 25 rules. I can't make it generically godly, so I don't know. Maybe I have to make a loot filter for each specific build. 25 rules, huh? I bet you I could make a loot filter for the entire game if they gave me 200 rules, like last Epoch did. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Well, I can guarantee you I'm going to use all 25 rules. I can guarantee you that. Let me ask. I'm just going to ask before the season even launches. Is there a reason why the loot filter only has 25 rules, but last Epoch gives us 200? I'm asking Blizzard, see if they can give me some insight. Because if it's no problem for them to give me 50 or 100 rules, if you give me 100 rules, I'll sit here for 12 hours. I'll make the best loot filter ever. And it'll work. I'll make it work for every build. But I can't, it's impossible. 25 rules, I just can't do it. It's impossible. Okay, well, I have a lot of experience making these loot filters, so I pretty much know exactly how to do it, but I just don't know how to do it with 25 rules. So it's going to have to be extremely watered down. We're just going to have to get the basic functionality of it going. Yeah, they probably have a lot of load for how many filters there's going to be. Okay. So this one has weapon damage and int fixed. You can get life on hit, cold damage multiplier, max life, life on kill, life on hit, or crit multi. They tighten the unique range so they're more consistently powerful. And they said that the tempering also went over an overhaul, so we're going to have to look at that. Okay, so here's the season. There's new season rank objectives and rewards. So this is what you'll get if you buy the expansion, and this is what everybody gets. So everybody gets the skill tree, the level 70, the new items, the loot filter, the map overlay, pathfinding, the pit overhaul, and the new torment tiers. Oh, so war plans are not war plans are not a permanent upgrade. Oh, you don't get to do the chain thing, the instant teleportation. You don't get the free keys. You don't get the meta progression passive tree. So this might be a massive power spike. Because if you don't have war plans, you can't have the meta progression tree, right? Who does not get the expansion though? Well, there were people saying that they'll install the game, but they're not going to buy the expansion for the updates. You do get the trees and stuff, but when you get to the end game, you will be missing the war plans. Oh, you don't get the cube? Or the talismans? Wait, you don't get to be able to craft? Wait, you can't craft, you don't get the set items, and you don't get the war plans. Yeah, you can't do the fishing either, the side quest stuff. Yeah, and it doesn't come with a pack of trolley gummy worms. So yeah, it seems like if you don't buy the expansion, you'll be missing the campaign, the Warlock, and the Paladin, the new region. This is kind of all the four were expected. I'm very surprised that they didn't put war plans in the game and the cube. Rax, you can afford the expansion now. Thank you so much for the bits and the subs, guys. Yeah, I have the expansion. We're going to do that. Surprising. Warplan, it's because Warplan is locked behind Scovos. You can't go make a Warplan in Kmart. Here it is. Here it is. The season does not have a story, a theme, or any gameplay elements. So what's the... So the reason that they had a season with nothing in it is just so you could progress through the new ranking system? I guess it's to test the new ranking system. Instead, the season is all of this. But I thought that's... Okay, well, all right. I just won't say. It is what it is. We'll just move on, I guess. There's no season theme, story, or gameplay elements. It is what it is. We know that this season departs from what we've done in the past. Future seasons will return to regular cadence and form. I wonder if they were planning to make an actual season for it and they ran out of time and they couldn't fit it in. So they just said that they'll do nothing, but they're trying to say that, well, the skill tree and the class things, that's our season. But that's just the expansion, though. That's not the season, that's the expansion. So I think the season just kind of got swept away. That's been their excuse since D3. Yeah.
Oh, Elaine raided my stream with 100 viewers.
Hi, Elena. What did you think of the what'd you think of the update? Thanks for the raid. Haven't talked to Elena in a long time. What's up? We just got done. We watched the whole thing. We wrote a whole multiple papers on it. Now someone made Rax's hoodie and they said that eating Taco Bell, all skills deal double damage. I would never eat Taco Bell. This is a lore inaccurate mythic unique. You're hyped for the multiplayer. You're hyped for the end game, but worried about multiplayer. Yeah, the way that the war plans work in multiplayer seems to be a disaster. There is a solution, though. Just don't play with any of your friends or family. Just, for lack of a better word, just screw them. You're a solo flyer now. This is every game screw multiplayer, pretty much. Thanks to the raid, I look forward to seeing you in game. What are my thoughts? Well, you know me. We've talked before many times about about many things, but I would say before this presentation, I was kind of... Wow, I'm in a tornado watch, by the way. Just got to notice we're in a tornado watch, boys, which is not as bad as a tornado warning. You want to know what Nebraskans do when a tornado touches down? We go outside on our porches and watch. Not even kidding. My whole neighborhood is going to be outside on their decks, just looking up.
I saw some people mauling about you on Reddit a few days ago and knew that was my cue to give my prime sub equals.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that there was... I didn't see it, but I heard some unhinged, crazy person made a huge thread about me on Reddit and how much he hated me. And I was sleeping. I woke up and Gazzy said, "Did you see what this guy said about you?" And I said, "No, link it to me." And he said, "Oh, it got deleted." I was like, "Oh. You saw the thread?" Yeah, apparently it got deleted pretty quickly, but someone out there really, really, really hates me. You had to ban 100 people on YouTube because of that thread? I don't even understand. Like, what? Someone posting that they hate me makes other people hate me? Like, what did they say? I didn't get to see any of it. I got bombarded with comments. Like, I don't get it. What? For what did I do? I didn't even do anything. Reddit doesn't like people critiquing their precious game. All right, I'm going to tell you guys something. Now, I'm well aware I should not say this. And if there are any actual psychologists in the chat or psychiatrists, I may need your help. This might make me a terrible person, but is it weird that I kind of like that there's people out there that hate me? I don't know why, but it kind of makes me smile. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I kind of like that someone hates me so much that it bothered them that much to make a Reddit thread, like a crazy Reddit thread about me. It's because you like the attention. Well, that's not, I don't think that's it. It's content? Yeah, I don't think that's it either. Like, even if I couldn't make content, I can't make content off of what happened. I don't know. I feel important. That's not, I don't know if that's it either. It's hard for me to describe, I guess. I'm trying to even think about it. Why does that put a smile on my face? It's like, let me give you an example. When someone really dislikes an athlete, right? Someone really dislikes an athlete who's really good, but for some reason, they just don't like them for some reason. I love when the athlete does well and watch the guy who hates the guy for no reason become unhinged. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's like when someone hates an athlete and they're good and they do well, the first thing I do is I go see the guy who hates him and just watch their hate just boil for no reason. That. It's like, randomly on a Tuesday, there's a thread about how someone hates me. It's the same thing. It's like, there's certainly nothing I've done to anyone on the internet to warrant anybody hating me. Like, I just play video games and I give my feedback on them. It's pretty chill around here. If you just hate me, it just makes me smile. It's just like, it makes me think you have such a peanut brain. It's not even like I feel important or I want attention or I want to make content on it. It's just, you're just so fucking stupid. This is so funny. That's why I think it's funny. It's like that, if that makes any sense. So whenever someone is just so mad at me, I think it's so funny, man. It's like, God, you're a dumb fuck. Oh, man, dude. Like, when I really don't like a streamer, I just, oh, I don't like him. I'm not going to watch their stream. Like, that's it. To get that upset about something is just comical. Oh, I love it, dude. I hope that guy that made that thread about me is watching right now. Yeah, hopefully we get another hate thread by the morning. He can make a new. But that's the thing that I don't understand. Like, he makes a thread about how much he hates me, and that 100 people read that thread and then hate me. Like, I don't. How did he convince those guys to hate me out of a thread? Like, it's crazy. Anyway, somehow I didn't see any of it. I missed all the action. They already hated me and jumped on the bandwagon. Thank you, Alina. Have a great day. There's a remnant of the thread. Let me move it over in case it's... Oh, whoever... Most of the comments are saying that they've never heard of me. That's good. This guy and his followers are the perfect example of hate watching and playing. He intentionally cultivated his audience like that. It's kind of interesting. So people are saying that I cultivated my audience to hate D4 and it was on purpose. I've said this like 10 different times. I'll say it one more time. I'm waiting for anyone to give me a counter example. Okay. Listen to this statement. It's going to be like the 10th time I've made it. I do not think there is a person on planet Earth who was harmed more, at least financially, than me from Diablo 4 not being the game that we expected. I don't think there is a person who was more negatively impacted by Diablo 4's lack of success, however you want to describe it, than me. No one. No, not anyone at Blizzard. Everyone at Blizzard's making bank. Blizzard, even though the game sucks, they made bank. Oh, no. It can't be anyone at Blizzard. No. I literally, like, almost no one on planet Earth had more writing on Diablo 4 being a good game than me. Like, it's like me, Woody, Rob, Riker up there. Like, the fact that D4 did not turn out the way we expected it to hurt us so badly. So, but there's people, they literally typed these words. They said that I planned this. I cultivated this. It's actually insanity. Like, how? Like, there's people out there that think this. It's crazy. Like, it's obviously, if you spend even 5 seconds thinking about it, it's obviously completely false. But there's people that believe it. I'm so afraid of the things that I read on the internet. Like, people actually believe these things. It's terrifying. Okay, I hate to admit it, but this cosmetic looks pretty sick, actually. The premium pass gives you this. Bro doesn't understand that he's an influencer and he has influence on his community. Oh. Let's try to shift this back to a positive thing. It's hard to stomach, guys. It's tough to hear these things. Not the insults, the what people come up with. It's hard. Yeah, we saw some. Oh yeah, thank you, Entity, Dark, Light. Let me get this. Malardia. Blade of McDonald's. I can't wait to buy the game and 2 expansions to face this Diablo guy. He must be a real scary boss. Oh no, who's gonna tell him? Malardia, Blade of McDonald's. If you're gonna want to fight Diablo, I'm not sure Diablo 4 is the way. I was a big supporter of you, Rax, but this season after season of the dislike and the negativity grew, so I left and unsubbed. This expansion will fix the negativity, and I can come back and watch you again. Well, I appreciate you being honest, Tomb Lord. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna tell you how I really feel about it. If I'm negative toward it, I will be. And if I'm positive toward it, I will be. If your sub and your viewership is contingent upon my views aligning with yours, I would just tell you not to watch me, man. Again, I'm not trying to be rude, but don't sub to me if you just want to sub to me if I agree with you. You know what I mean? I would just go watch Rob. He's going to love it no matter what. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, I'm just going to be honest. So if you don't like that, that's okay. But I will never adjust my thinking to adhere to what the masses think I should think. You know what I mean? Rob is catching strays. It's not a stray to say that someone is positive. I wish I was like Rob, honestly, and just loved everything. That would be great. But I'm not. Rob and Woody are much more positive people than me. You should have seen when we worked on Maxroll for years together. The 2 people that always thought the world was falling was me and Northwar. But there's advantages to having people like that on your team as well, because when people are always complaining, you always strive to do better, right? There's a Coyote versus Acme movie trailer. That's good. You do you, man. It's your stream, of course, but I do see the side of the haters. I'm not a hater. I just walk away and do other stuff. Me too. That's what I did. When people say that I've cultivated a hateful community toward Diablo 4, what did I do last season? I played for, well, the Butcher season, I couldn't log in, so I didn't play that. The season before, so I didn't play. The season before, it launched the day before PoE 2. I played for 5 hours or something, had fun, and I logged off. Previous season, I don't think I played. Previous season, I didn't play. That's the definition of walking away from something you don't like. Cultivated a thing of hatred. I never played and cultivated hatred. I just walked away. That's what I did. I didn't play. Rax is the Lord of Hatred. Dude, they should have sent me one of these guitars. I would have played it right now on stream. Yeah, it's okay. We've got to stop. I promise, guys, we're going to stop talking about this. It's okay. If you hate me, great. I don't care. I might have cared, but I've been streaming this for 7 years. I don't care anymore. If people are going to hate me, it's fine. For the people that don't hate me, I love having you here. Let's try to have a good time with the expansion. I'll give you a fair and honest review about it, and let's see if we like it. Let's just try to have a good time. If we don't have a good time, I'll explain why I had a good time or why I didn't have a good time. Leave some feedback, and we'll go play PoE 2. My mic died for a second. Yeah, it's sensitive every time I like touch this at all. You didn't cultivate the negativity. That is nonsense. However, you admit that there is resentment towards Diablo 4 because it didn't live up to my expectations and I had to go play other games. I think you could say that about me in the past. Like, I was very upset that Diablo 4 didn't carry forward the essence of the Diablo franchise. But now I'm good with it. Diablo 4 is not really a game made for me, and I've made peace with it. I'm fine. I'm no longer sitting here praying that we're going to have some epiphany and make Diablo like it used to be. I don't have that thought anymore. It's gone. So let's just see if I like what they make. And that's it. I've let that go completely. Make D4 great again. Let's see what happens here. We will see what happens. Okay. I am going to hang it up here, guys. I'm going to go make some YouTube videos for you. The YouTube video I'm going to make tomorrow is going to be very, very fun. It's going to be a conspiracy theory, but a fun conspiracy theory and a very, very positive conspiracy theory. Fully positive video. Conspiracy theory about Diablo 4. So we'll see what happens there. I'm actually surprised that the expansion launches on a Monday. It's much sooner than I thought, so I need to go prepare for it. Wow, Woody has 6,000 viewers right now. I love that for him. Let's give him more. Let's get him to 9,000. He deserves it. Oh, Diablo raided him? Oh, that makes more sense. I was like, holy God, Woody's a god now. I love that. Anyway, we're going to raid him and we're going to feed him more. Love Woody, of course. Do you think they're going to give us pre-downloads? God, that's a great question. God, that's a great question. You got the Diablo DLC yesterday, refunded it after 5 minutes because the game crashed when I opened it for $40. Yeah, God, that's another point. I wonder if it's going to be crashing on Monday. I hope not. All right, guys, have an amazing night. Thank you so much for being here. Let's say hi to Woody.